Welcome to Arctic LNG 2. Our company specializes in the extraction and production of liquefied natural gas. We're glad to introduce you to the labor protection, industrial safety, and environmental protection briefing. Hello and welcome to Arctic LNG 2 facilities. My name is Oleg Kapushin, and I am the General Director of the company. I would like to personally ask each and every one of you to give serious considerations with regards to this safety information. The main objective of our company is the extraction and liquefaction of natural gas, but your safety is a matter of paramount importance. Your health and well-being are a priority for our company, and we do our best to ensure a safe and comfortable working environment for you. However, not everything depends on us. Your safety is your personal responsibility. Please give serious consideration to the regulations provided in this briefing. Pay maximum attention to your personal safety as well as the safety of your colleagues, and work in a way that would make your management and your family proud of you. I wish you safe work. Follow the rules while ensuring safety for yourself and your colleagues. Be very careful. Arctic LNG 2 security policy is aimed at preservation of life and health of people, prevention of all kinds, incidents and reduction of negative impact on the environment, rational use of natural resources and materials, compliance with legal regulations and requirements, interaction with the public and those present small nations, following of contractual requirements specified in the company policy, a deliberate identification of potential risks and prevention of possible threats. This carries our security policy. It is important that each employee understands his responsibility for the safety of the entire facility, his colleagues, and himself. To ensure the necessary level of safety at each Arctic LNG 2 facility, a system of labor protection, industrial safety, and environmental protection is used, which is a system of standards, provisions, and instructions describing a detailed explanation of safety rules. Before starting work, you must make sure that the workers are ready to work, that they have all the necessary protective equipment. Confirm that the workers have the appropriate approvals for the type of work that they will carry out. Workers must strictly observe the following safety rules at the facilities. Performance of work of increased danger is allowed only if there is a work permit. While in the vehicle while driving, use seat belts. It should be remembered that smoking at public facilities is prohibited, with the exception of specially designated places. Troubleshooting is prohibited if the electrical equipment is connected to the network. The transportation, carrying, and use of alcohol or narcotic substances is strictly prohibited. The use of open flame isn't permitted if this isn't provided for by the instruction. When moving on slippery surfaces or stairs, maximum care is necessary. Try to hold on to the handrails. Do not talk on the phone or be distracted. Each employee in the process of his activity is obliged to use personal protective equipment, glasses, gloves, helmet, overalls, safety shoes. Repair and maintenance of equipment being influenced by any kind of energy should be carried out, provided that all sources of energy are identified. Any energy is isolated, drained, or discharged, and adequate blocking is provided at the disconnection points. Work on the repair and maintenance of equipment should be carried out, provided that there is no acceptable alternative way, all power sources are turned off, gas-air environment control is provided. Attracted observers in the amount presented. The employee is provided with a safety harness and a gas mask. While carrying out lifting operations involving cranes, winches, and other devices, it is necessary to make sure the weight of the load doesn't exceed the permissible load, and all safety systems work. It is forbidden to move the load when there are people under it, as well as to move people with lifting devices. When carrying out gas hazardous works, make sure that the number of performers is sufficient for the safe fulfillment of the assignment, that the air zone is controlled, and that no harmful substances enter the work zone. Before starting work, it is important to exclude the presence of possible ignition sources. Work in which there is a danger from moving or rotating parts of mechanisms should be carried out, provided that there is availability of protective fences and covers. Signal coloring is applied and warning signs are placed. The possibility of quick shutdown is provided and protective screens are installed. When carrying out earthwork, it is important to determine the location and isolate all underground sources of danger, to ensure constant monitoring of the soil condition, and to make sure that the distance from the edge to the recoverable soil is at least half a meter. To carry out any excavation work, at least 2 performers must be involved. Particular attention should be paid to safety when carrying out high-altitude work. They include such types of work when there are risks of the employee falling from a height of more than 1.8 meters. The employee makes an ascent or descent exceeding a height of 5 meters on a vertical ladder, the angle of which is more than 75 degrees. Work is carried out at sites closer than 2 meters from unshielded drops in height of more than 1.8 meters. And also if the height of the fence sites is below 1.1 meters. It is not allowed to carry out work at heights in open places at an airflow rate of more than 15 meters per second. In weather conditions excluding visibility within the front of work and from icy structures. When installing structures with high windage and wind speeds of more than 10 meters per second. During operation under conditions of freezing temperatures, all employees must be provided with additional personal protective equipment. It is important to observe a shift work schedule and to regulate breaks for heating workers, as well as to provide them with a sufficient number of comfortable rooms for heating. When delivering goods to Arctic LNG 2, it is possible to carry out work on fast ice. Such work is associated with a high risk of danger. Please consider that the greatest danger you can face while working with ice is the falling of equipment and people into open cracks on the ice surface, separation of the fast ice from the coastline, and the loss of staff orientation in routes during fogs and snowfalls. To ensure the safety of work on ice, all contractors before the start of work must conduct a safety analysis using a checklist for the appropriate type of work. When performing work on fast ice, the contractor is obliged to comply with the safety requirements set forth in the Arctic LNG 2 regulation on the safe performance of work on fast ice. In the case of an incident, the following procedure must be followed. Report the incident in any way possible according to the notification scheme. If there are victims, then take measures to provide them with first aid. Try to keep the situation in its original form. Do not move or touch objects if this does not pose a threat to the lives of the victims. Capture everything in a photo. A commission is sent to the scene where it investigates the incident. The purpose of the investigation is to establish the facts and causes of the incident to prevent the occurrence of similar situations in the future. To prevent incidents and possible accidents, a continuous risk assessment is necessary. Risk assessment should be carried out on a regular basis. It is important to remember that risks can appear even in debugged processes. If an employee has any doubts, concerns, or questions, he must immediately inform the immediate supervisor of this. Emergency prevention is the highest degree of work safety culture. A rational and lean attitude to the environment is one of the priority areas in the company, along with safety. The presence of pallets and hydro-insulated containers in equipment eliminate spills of oil products and chemical liquids into storm sewers. Solid municipal, construction, and industrial waste must be accumulated and stored only separately on specially equipped sites, and should be sheltered from all sides from wind and precipitation. Waste should be disposed of in specialized facilities or transferred to specialized organizations. It is strictly forbidden to incinerate, landfill, and use waste to fill roads. It is forbidden to collect mushrooms and plants, cut down trees and bushes, damage the fruit of moss and reindeer moss, catch fish and make bonfires, raise and feed animals. The withdrawal of water from water bodies is carried out strictly in the presence of appropriate permits. The contracting organization, at its own expense and with its own resources, eliminates all the environmental consequences of accidents that occurred through its fault. To perform work on the territory of Arctic LNG 2 facilities, all employees must undergo mandatory training in the field of labor protection, industrial safety, and environmental protection. If a fire or signs of burning are detected, including smoke, burning smell, temperature increase, immediately inform the fire department or the property administration about this by telephone. In this case, it is necessary to indicate the address of the object, the place of the fire, and also indicate your name. Take measures to alert workers through the manual start buttons of the automatic warning system and control the evacuation of people in case of fire. With a small focus of sunbathing without risking life, proceed to extinguish the fire with primary fire extinguishing means, using portable fire extinguishers or fire hydrants. If necessary, disconnect the room. It is forbidden to extinguish fire using water on electrical equipment included in the network. Without creating fuss and panic, take measures to safely evacuate people from the premises and buildings in accordance with the evacuation plan. When evacuating, follow the evacuation direction signs and take the injured with you. Organize the gathered people in specially designated places of the facility. Give first aid to victims. Upon arrival of the fire department, strictly follow their instructions and provide possible assistance in informing them. We hope for your active participation in the security of each facility. When you care about your safety, you think about your future, the health and well-being of your family. Follow the safety rules. Remember, safety begins with you.